Yeah, this is going to be a rant, but I'm going to talk about a few subjects. I'm going to talk about a few subjects now. But first things first, I do this for me, for venting purposes. And if you don't like it, please get the fuck off my channel. I'm not looking for no praise, no accolades. I'll do this for me. Now, back to the subject at hand. I want to talk about, and I think I talked about a few of these subjects, but I'm going to talk about it again because I want to. Just going back to what I said before, a long time ago in one of my videos about forgiveness. Um, Never forgive a person who's on their deathbed and they want to ask you for forgiveness about the things that they've done. The reason why I say this is because if that person was healthy at the time in his or her right mind, and if he or she wanted to apologize back then, yeah, you can accept it, for the most part. But if that person is on his or her deathbed and now he or she wants to apologize to you, you have every right to not accept that apology, because now that person who's sick, dying on their deathbed, now they feel sorry. It's like, no, I'm not going to. No, you should not have to accept that person's apology. The only reason why that person is saying that they're sorry now is because they're sick and they're dying. If they was in their right mind, they would have never apologized to you. But now they die, and now they want to apologize and look for forgiveness. No, it's too late now. You should have thought about that when you was healthy and when you was in your right mind. So don't do yourself a disservice like that. Don't let people disrespect you like that. You don't have to accept their apology. Just say no and move on. And number two, I want to talk about something else as well. I want to talk about the whole term of this is whole slang or term that's called, well, thank you, Captain Obvious. It's a very sarcastic a very sarcastic quote where somebody says, "Well, thank you, Captain Obvious." Basically saying that oh, everybody knows that, or it's obvious that that I know it and everybody else know it. Basically saying that you're not saying anything that's new or different. Well, to tell you the truth, when it comes to that, man, a lot of people can recognize the obvious, they can point it out, but so few can truly understand the obvious. So few people can truly comprehend it. Like, for example, you can people can recognize the problem, people can point it out, but so few people can comprehend the depths of the obvious. So few people can comprehend, what I'm saying, the whole notion of the obvious. I gotta put this, man. When people say that, man, well, thank you, Captain Obvious, for the most part, man, just disregard those motherfuckers, man. Just disregard them, because most people may recognize it, most people may know, but they don't truly understand the depths of the obvious. They just may know, those most of those people may know the surface level of the obvious, and while you may know the depths of it. You may know the deeper and darker depths of the obvious. So when people say, thank you, Captain Obvious, okay, most people know it, but they don't truly understand the depths of it. Meaning that you might be in a whole lot of trouble because you don't understand how deep the obvious goes. You get what I'm saying? So don't let people get you down when they say, "Oh, thank you, Captain Obvious." Because if you have a greater understanding of what the obvious is all about, you can disregard those motherfuckers, man. Because I realize, man, not everybody, but a lot of people don't know what the fuck they talking about. I mean, they know some things. Don't get me wrong. They know some things, but my what grinds my gears is when people try to put you down just because they want to, just because they think they can with their words and all that stuff, man. But they think they know it, but they really don't. I mean, they may know it, but they don't truly understand the depths of what they know. That's comprehension. That's comprehension. Understanding is all about comprehending what you know. You get what I'm saying? And I realize a lot of people may know the obvious, but they don't truly comprehend it. They don't truly understand how deep the obvious really goes, or what the fuck they talking about, or what the fuck they know. So disregard those motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Take it day by day. And there's another topic I want to talk about. People want to say chosen ones. You know, I've been seeing a lot of videos talking about chosen ones and all that stuff. And some of it sounds good, but some of it doesn't. Because in my honest opinion, I don't think chosen, I mean, I'm kind of like 50-50 on chosen ones are real and they're not real. They are real because, you know, for the most part, you know, a lot of the chosen ones are chosen by the people, and the people choose that person to represent them, yada, yada, yada. So I can get with that on that aspect, but at the same time, I don't believe in chosen ones because it's a bunch of bullshit, and also the so-called chosen ones usually don't get picked by the people. You get what I'm saying? Usually the chosen ones don't get chosen by the people. They choose somebody else who has a lot of charisma. And I remember I made a video about this a long time ago about charisma is full of shit. It really is. You know, just because you have a lot of charisma does not mean that you know it all. It doesn't mean that you know what the fuck you talking about. You have, you know what I'm saying, charisma, in my honest opinion, means that you have the ability to move the crowd. You have the ability to galvanize the crowd. But when it comes to the things that's coming out of your mouth, you may not know what the fuck you talking about. And when it comes to the chosen ones, they might not have a lot of charisma, but they do know what the fuck they talking about. And by that notion, that's why a lot of the real chosen ones don't get picked by the people. Because they lack charisma. And the ones that do have charisma, they get chosen. And the ones that do get chosen by the people, the ones that have a lot of charisma, a lot of them don't know what the fuck they talking about. They just have a gift. They have a speech gift. And also, a lot of the so-called chosen ones that have a lot of charisma, in the end, they become puppets to the regime. They become puppets to different organizations, different corporate organizations. But when it comes to the real chosen ones, they don't get picked at all. They get overlooked, and in some cases, they get killed. They get hurt or they get killed because they were the real ones. They had the skills. They basically had the skills to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking in a slang connotation, but they had the skills to pay the bills. They had the skills because they know what the fuck they talking about. They actually have the skills to do it. But instead, they get overlooked, and they chose the person that has more charisma because the real chosen ones don't have a lot of charisma, but they do have skills, and they do know what the fuck they doing, and they know what they talking about. But yeah, man, but the whole notion of chosen ones and all that stuff, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, man. You know, it just is what it is, man. It just is what the fuck it is. And there's another topic I want to talk about too, man. Stop fucking with people. And what I mean by stop fucking with people is that anywhere you go, whether it's school, out in the public, out at your job, I've been seeing, bullies, you got so-called bullies in high positions picking on the little guy, picking not little in the sense like physical, but picking on people that don't have a lot of power in their workplace or in their work station or different places that they go. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why bullies get to pick on the so-called little guy is because they have power backings. They have a certain level of power, and they like to use that power and abuse the so-called little people who have no power. And then sooner or later, that so-called little person is going to snap. And when that little person snaps, A lot of, in most cases, a lot of people tend to get hurt, and in some cases, some people get killed. Like all these school shootings, these workplace shootings, and all that stuff. I realize, man, not all the time, but half the time, a lot of those people got fed up with the bullying that's been going on in their lives, and they couldn't take it anymore, so they lashed out on their bullies, and they lashed out on the bullies, and they take them out. And sometimes they take themselves out too because they don't want to, go to jail for the rest of their lives and all that stuff, And do I agree with that? No, deep down I don't really. Deep down I kind of don't, but for the most part I truly understand why they do it, why they did it. I truly understand why they did what they did, because people got fed up, because the oppressor. I mean, because the little people got fed up with the oppression. The little people got fed up with the bullshit. Like I said before, man, you can only push people so damn far to the point that that person will snap. And when that person snaps, you're going to be in a whole world of hurt. You're going to get hurt. Or in some cases, you're going to get killed. Stop fucking with people. Because you don't know what that person's going through in their life. You don't know what that person's going through in their homestead. You don't know, so you don't know. But instead, you want to act like some tough, macho badass and want to push people around just because you want to, or just because you have the power to do so. You better watch out how you treat other people, man, because eventually that person or that group of people is going to lash out on you, and you're going to be in a whole bunch of hurt. Come on, man. It ain't rocket science, man. Stop fucking with people. Just because you have a higher position does not mean that you should have it doesn't mean that you can push people around at your workstation. Come on, man. That don't make any sense at all, man. It lets me know that you're a fucking coward. The only reason why you're doing it is because you have a high position and you think you can do it. That lets me know that your character is flawed. You have a very flawed character. And you're full of shit. And you're a piece of shit. And you're a coward. Basically, you're a bitch. Plain and simple. And bitches can be man and female, don't matter. Because you got bitches that are females in the workplace that like to, bully people. Of course, you got males in the workplace who have high positions that want to bully other people too. All this bullying and shit, man. Listen, man, one way or another, somebody is going to do something. Somebody is going to snap. And when that happens, you better get the fuck out the way, because it's going to get rough. It's going to get very fucking rough for the bullies. And that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say. So, yeah, man. So, thank you so much and have a good day.